saying that inflation is running at rates that are, quote, too low. Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke on Friday set the table for yet another round of quantitative easing for the Fed. Joining us now for the other side of the equation is Peter Schiff, president of Euro Pacific Capital. And Peter, I'm going to go out on a limb and say you disagree with Bernanke that inflation is too low and the Fed should do more QE.
Absolutely. You know, it's scary how clueless Bernanke is. I mean, first of all, to say that inflation is too low. I mean, look what's going on now. I mean, look at what's happening with commodity prices across the board. And every commodity is rallying. I mean, look at corn prices are probably up 60% in the last 3 months. It's 20% a month. Look at a record high in the price of gold, or 30-year high in the price of silver, and look what's happening to the value of our money. The dollar's at a record low against the Swiss franc, a record low against the Singapore dollar, a record low against the Australian dollar, near a record low against the Japanese yen. It's falling against every currency. It's at the lowest it's been against the Chinese RMB, I think, in 15, 20 years. What does that mean? If our money is losing value, that is inflation. As money loses value, prices are going to rise because you need more diminished dollars to buy goods and services. So maybe the government indexes are not showing double-digit inflation just yet.
CPI came in today fairly tame, and I think that gives Bernanke cover to do this.
Yeah,
right?
well, the CPI is a very manipulated index with a lot of distortions. There's hedonics in there and weighted adjustments that the Fed makes. And then, of course, they're going to strip out food and energy and claim they're volatile. When they're not volatile, they just go up.
Right.
But, it used to be that the mission of the Federal Reserve was price stability. Now the mission is create inflation. And the crazy thing is, the reason Bernanke wants to create inflation is he says unemployment is too high, as if more inflation is going to solve our unemployment problem. All more inflation is going to do is make the unemployment problem worse, because now not only are you unemployed, but it's going to cost more for food, it's going to cost more to heat your house, more to drive your car when you're looking for a job. You don't create jobs by creating inflation. The way we can create jobs is to shrink the size of the federal government, to reduce regulations and lower taxes. But the very act of quantitative easing prevents that. Because what Ben Bernanke is saying to Congress is run up the deficits, because I'm going to monetize it for you. I'm going to print money to buy all the bonds you sell. So he is enabling the government to get bigger, which is going to make unemployment worse, not better. So what are we going to have? Even more quantitative easing? You're throwing gasoline on a fire.
So isn't the theory